Welcome to episode 4 of getting the combines ready for harvest of 2025. Currently, Dad is on the skid loader scooping up all of these rocks because he said he's tired of working on these ginormous rocks and it's hurting his feet. So Dad's going on a rant this morning with the skid loader and scooping off the top layer. For the front 6, or just these 3. So this is like 1, this is 4, right?
Right.
And then 2, okay. So 1, 4, 2, 5, like that. 3, 6. As you can see, we're starting to get holes in them, so I'm gonna have to change them out. I guess we need a paint pen, huh? Oh my god. I learned how to write that too in kindergarten. Oh my god.
How you write it too?
Like that, like a normal 2.
I can't do that.
What? Well, we got elements put together, concaves put in, bands put on, and the one separator grate put back on. So the only thing left rotor-wise is the rotor belt. We have to put a new rotor belt on. But the next project is going to be chopper knives. Those came in the mail today, so we can put chopper knives on and put the chopper floor on. And then the only thing left is that rotor belt, and we have to put a cover on in the bin, and then this combine's ready. Anyone else have to get out and push their extensions? I imagine they need adjusting, but pretty annoying. Me and Dad were messing with the bin. Cody put on chopper knives, and then we also put on the new floor pieces for the chopper. And I had to start it and fold down the bins because we're about to do the rotor belt, which is the last thing this combine needs before it is harvest ready. But we folded the bins down because we have to have that engine bay door open, and with the extensions open, it's kind of in the way. So
you'll take this and get a bucket or a pan. You're going to take this right here loose, this swivel. Hold it here, screw it here. And once you get that loose, you're going to take a pry bar and prise this, or you can probably pull it with your hands, but more likely you're going to take a pry bar. You're going to want this all the way out here to the end, as far as it'll go. In other words, once you hold a pan up there until you prise this out, catch the oil, and then tighten that.
Okay.
Get it off there and by there. Yeah, you can start that line back on there for the moment.
okay.
Cause it would run. It's pretty rough shape, but it would run.
Well, we got everything put back together. Now we're going to test run it and see if anything comes flying apart. Dad just said we have a problem right here and pointed at the feed accelerator area. Not too sure what he's looking at. So it's this piece right here, Cody? That one? It's just like back and forth? Or?
Yeah, it's popping.
Just when you think everything is done and finished, you're broke down again. The pulley that runs your bed augers was pretty, it was pretty wore out, so we're gonna have to get a new one of those. Well, since all the combines are officially harvest ready, besides that #1 combine that just broke down, we're ordering a part for that. But in the meantime, we're moving on to headers. And the first thing that we're gonna do is change out this filter right here that we change out every single year. Working on the headers, in my opinion, is way easier than working on the combines. What I'm trying to say is, hopefully it's a smooth breeze all the way until we're ready to wash. It kind of popped off a little bit. Are you counting how many pumps?
I'm still waiting on some parts.
Where are you at?
44.
Well, now you got 43 because one's on top of there.
Are you done in here?
Yeah. Alright, this is what the new saddles look like. So the big adapter piece will sit down in here rather than having this little bitty one to measure up on. Well, Cody changed the gearbox oil on that side as well as that side, since this header is a dual knife drive. And we also put that line that was leaking on. And I think we're going to test run this header, just make sure everything works and that line isn't still leaking. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's been several hours since I picked up the camera. We have done tons of work, but it's a lot of a little work, if that makes sense. So we're bouncing around everywhere, and it's nothing y'all haven't seen before if you've watched any other of my videos. But we are finally done with the last header of getting it ready. This is the #1 header. This is the header that I ran last year, but Dad will be running this year. We just changed all these sections out for new fine teeth sections. Although me personally, I think the coarse sections are a little better. At least they last longer. I think they cut the same. But we only had fine sections in the trailer, so that's what we put on there. Since all the headers are complete, the next thing that we have to do is, I guess, change the oil in the grain cart.
Yes. Do I look good?
Yeah, your hair looks good, dude. I'll have to get me one of them. You know, I should whip out the straw hat. I whipped that thing out this year. That's hot.
Did you get that last year?
Yeah. Normally in South Texas I wear it because it's just really hot. But everywhere else is like, it's hot, but it's doable. I don't know. The real reason is when you get to Kansas, the wind blows. Yeah. And then it blows it off. And then it just makes me mad having to chase it. That's the real reason why I stopped wearing it. Is it going to overflow it or?
Mm-hmm. Kind of looks like it.
I'm going to put your finger over the plug. It's kind of making a pattern. It kind of looks pretty yummy. Like a frappuccino or something.
But it don't taste yummy.
Probably not. It don't smell too yummy.
There's not a lot on there.
Do you remember when I said that everything is complete on the headers? Well, I forgot one last thing. And that is putting decals on the #3 header. I totally forgot.
I wonder if we squeeze it.
So here are the new decals. The ones that were on there were green, and the other 2 headers are gray. So we're going to swap the decals out for gray, that way they can all match. How much do you want to bet that there's going to be 1,800 bubbles in this thing?
do is get this square.
I wonder if you could soap and squeegee that one.
Probably.
Well, as you can see, the combines are pretty much ready to load. It has been a couple of days since I have turned on the camera. We've spent 3, maybe 4 days of washing, as well as we spent 2 days off for Easter. And then today is Wednesday, so we spent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, which is today, getting the combines ready to load. So as you can see, we have the single spare tire on the number 1 because it has singles. Now we have the duals on the other 2 combines. We have washed everything. We washed the tractor and grain cart. We actually waxed the tractor. We washed the number 3. We washed and waxed the number 2, and we washed and waxed the number 1. The number 1 combine, being as old as it is compared to the number 3, we didn't realize how much the paint was faded. So we ended up waxing that, and it looks 100 times better. Well, I've greased 2 combines so far. And, oh, I forgot the rotor on the number 2. Dang it. Alright, I have not greased 2 combines so far. I've almost greased 2 combines so far. Okay, now I have greased 2 combines. I'm on the last one, which is number 3. We're gonna grease the number 3 combine. I might go smear some grease on the headers. I can't get all of them since they're sitting on the trailer, but I'll at least get most of them. The reason why we grease after we wash is because whenever we wash, sometimes water gets into the bearing, and if you let it sit there for a long time or even run it with water in the bearing, obviously water and metal don't go together, it rusts. It pretty much ruins the bearing if you let water sit in there. So we like to grease it after we wash it, pushes the water out, that way it's only grease in the bearing, and then it lasts longer, which is cheaper. And we like cheaper. Before we load the combines in the grain cart today, I guess I better point out that the new trucks are here. I guess I haven't showed y'all up close of the trucks that we are renting this year. Yes, I said renting. Dad has a couple of harvest friends that have been doing this rental truck thing for, I believe, 2 years now. And then he also has a friend that doesn't do harvesting at all, but also rents through the same company. And they both like it. They both said that it really fits the operation, you know, better than owning a truck. So what we did is we're gonna test it out. And you might be telling me, Hayden, there's absolutely no way y'all just sold the 88 and the 94 for 2 rental trucks. And I guess we did. Now, that might be the worst decision we ever make, and it might be the best decision we ever make. I don't know, time will tell. But we have 2 2024 Kenworth T880s, and they both have, I think, close to like 60 to 80,000 miles on them, so they are pretty much brand new. Now that might not sound a lot, you know, if you drive a car or something having 80,000 miles, but an 18-wheeler is totally different. 80,000 is pretty much brand new. But what I mean by it fits better on our operation, meaning from April to November, we're in the trucks, we're using them. And then from November to April, we're not in the trucks. If anything, we're hauling fertilizer or hay, which requires 1 truck, which is the 13. So in the off season, we're gonna be returning the 2 trucks, and then we won't have a truck payment, if that makes sense. We'll only have 1, which is this one. So it saves you from, you know, almost 6 months of payment on a vehicle that you're not even using, times 2. But that's what I mean when I say it fits better in our operation than owning 3 trucks to have, you know, 2 of them sit for almost 6 months out of the year and then use them 6 months out of the year. Before I get tons of questions asking where's the 88 and the 94, it is no longer with us. The 88 is probably 2 miles down this road with our neighbor. He bought it and he hauls hay you know, up and down this road all the time, so we see it all the time. Cody got his CDL last off season, so Cody is actually going to be hauling the grain cart this round. Dad's going to be hauling a combine this round, and then John is going to be hauling another combine. If y'all remember John from season 1, I believe, he's going to be coming back and helping us. John actually has a total different job, but he's off for like a week or so, and Dad asked him, hey, do you want to jump in a truck? And John loves being out here and driving the truck, so needless to say, let's go load the combines. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. Both combines, grain cart is all loaded. It has been 4 episodes of getting all of these machines ready for harvest. Y'all have maybe seen about probably 25% of all the things we have done. Y'all saw the big pieces like doing, you know, shoe frame bushings and, you know, new chopper floors and feed accelerator and feeder house work and all of that. There is a ton of other little nitpicking stuff that we have to do to prepare for harvest that I just simply can't show, because that would be hours upon hours of footage that I would have to show y'all. But hard work pays off, and the first load is officially ready to head to South Texas. Which also means the next video is going to be move day. I know everyone loves move day, but I hope y'all enjoyed the short season of us getting ready for harvest of 2025. But with that being said, I think that's going to be it for today's video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.